Hi guys, so this is the video for Thursday the 26th of March. You're going to want to print out this worksheet so that you can highlight it. So I have 5 different color highlighters here because while all of this is in your calculator and you don't really have to show a whole lot of work, there's a lot of little intricacies about it. So I'm going to highlight and make sort of a color-coded key for you to help you out. So the first thing you want to determine when you're doing any of these problems is, should my calculator be in degrees or in radians? So I'm going to highlight, so you know, all the problems that are in degrees. Now the way to tell is if you see a little r or if you see a pi anywhere in the problem, those are in radians. So if you don't see either one of those, it's in degrees. Okay, so that one, degrees, and that one's in degrees. There's an R there, that's radians. I don't see an R, I don't see a pi, I don't see an R, I don't see a pi, check it out. Right, so again, you can go through, figure out which ones are in degrees and highlight them in one particular color. Okay, so those are all in degrees. I'm going to do orange for radians. Now, since I just went through all of them, it should be all the ones that I haven't highlighted yet, but I'm just going to double check. All right, you're looking for a little R for radians or a pi. Okay, so that's step 1. Determine whether your problem is in degrees or in radians. Okay, second, you have to decide whether you're finding an angle or are you finding a value. Because if you are finding an angle, you have to hit the second button on your calculator to get the answer. All right, so the ones where you are finding an angle, right? So notice here, like 3.2 radians, that's an angle. I don't need to find the angle. 7 pi over 5, that's an angle. I don't need to find the angle. But here, theta represents an angle. I need to find the angle. Okay, so that one I'm finding an angle. This one I'm finding an angle. Now, hopefully you're noticing that on all these ones where I'm finding an angle, right? If you look at all the ones that are highlighted in yellow, right? All the ones that have yellow around them, it has to tell you which quadrant the angle's in. Okay, so that's, again, a really, really big hint. Okay, now, in green, I'm going to put the problems where I am finding a value. Meaning I already have the angle, right? I have the angle. I just want to know what is the cosine of that angle, green. Right? I have an angle, so I'm finding a value. Okay, it's impossible for these to be highlighted in both yellow and green, right? You either have an angle or you don't. If you have an angle, you're finding a value. Okay, and then lastly, in blue, and this is going to be the hardest part of this whole thing. In blue, we're going to highlight the ones that we need to rewrite. Okay. What that means is if you look on your calculator, you will only find a sine button, a cosine button, and a tangent button, right? Sine, cosine, tangent. There isn't a cosecant button, and there isn't a cotangent button, right? So all the ones that are not sine, cosine, or tangent, you're going to have to rewrite those a different way. And there's a lot of them. Okay, so I have this all color-coded now. Okay, we're going to do 5 of them together, and then I'll leave the other 15 to you, all right? And the answer key is posted. So the first one I'd like to try is number 1, okay? So number 1, based on my color coding, I know my calculator needs to be in radians. So let me go and make sure my calculator is in radians. All right. And I'm finding a value. Okay, so literally all I have to type in is the cosine of 3.2. It's in radians, so I'm good. And it says to function values to the nearest hundredth. So let's see, tenths, hundredths. You know what, maybe we should make that thousandths. I'm gonna make it thousandths, otherwise it's not as accurate. So negative 0.998. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Okay, let's try number 3. Okay, so number 3, I'm finding an angle, so I'm gonna have to hit second tangent to find that angle. Okay, so let's see, and I need to be in degrees. So let me go back to angle format and go to degrees. Okay, so second tangent, right? I'm trying to find an angle. Here's my decimal, negative 4.93. So I have negative 78 degrees, okay? But it says my angle should be in the 4th quadrant. And up here, it says that all angles must be positive. So this negative 78 degrees is the reference angle. So if I do 360 and then add the reference angle, right? And I'm adding it only because it's already negative. Here's my 281.46, and it says we want these to the nearest second. So there was a previous lesson about degrees, minutes, seconds. So this angle should be 281 degrees, 27 minutes, 59 seconds. You can see that right here, 281 degrees, 27 minutes. This to the nearest second rounds up. Okay, let's try number 18. Okay, 18. Now notice this one's the first one I'm using in blue. I don't have a secant button, so I have to rewrite this some other way. So because of the equal sign, I'm going to take the reciprocal of both sides. So the reciprocal of this is the cosine, right? Those are reciprocals. And the reciprocal of this is negative 1/8. So now I can put this in my calculator. I'm in degrees. Second cosine of negative 1/8 is 97 degrees. I'm supposed to be in the 3rd quadrant. Okay, hold on. Let me draw a picture. 97 degrees is right here. That's not the 3rd quadrant. So I need to find that reference angle, right? So 180 minus the answer. The reference angle is 82.8 degrees. Now I need to put it into 1 second. Hey, Nick and Jaden, making a video, can hear you guys. So now that I've stopped my children from screaming, I'm gonna add this reference angle to 180. So now I have an angle that's in the 3rd quadrant, and then I need it to the nearest second. So 262 degrees, 49 minutes, 9 seconds. All right, let's try 19. Okay, so this one's slightly different. So it's the cotangent of 47 radians. So let me make sure my calculator's in radians. Radians. Okay, I'm in radians. Now here, there's no equal sign. It's not like I'm taking the reciprocal of both sides. I am rewriting this as the tangent of the same angle. Right? It's the tangent of 47, but in the denominator. All right? And again, you're not taking the reciprocal of both sides. This is equivalent to this. So let me do 1 divided by the tangent of 47. We get negative 8.0304 if I round. Okay? And then the last one I'm going to do with you is number 13. This one's in degrees. Let me make sure I'm in degrees. Okay, in degrees. And again, I don't have a cosecant button on my calculator, so I have to rewrite this as 1 over the reciprocal of this is sine, 281 degrees, 42 minutes. So let me plug this in. 1 divided by 281 degrees, 42 minutes. I forgot the sine button. Let's try that one. I'm like, that doesn't look right. 1 divided by the sine of 281 degrees, 42 minutes. There we go. Negative 1.021. All right. So again, put your calculator in the right form. figure out whether you're finding an angle or a value. And third, figure out whether you have to rewrite it. Good luck. I will see you on Zoom.